while lavender, coneflowers, daylilies, and black-eyed Susans bring so much beauty to the garden. And I have each of these in my own. If you're ready to ditch the ordinary and find a truly captivating plant that brings in the hummingbirds, then stick around. Welcome to Garden Sanity. I'm Laura, and I garden here in Zone 7, Southern New Jersey, where it's a little bit of a windy day today, so you may see or hear it in the background. Today I'm introducing you to Penstemon Rose Rhinestones. It's a new perennial from Walter's Gardens and proven winners. It's an easy care penstemon with tubular rose pink colored flowers that are fairly large, and hummingbirds love it. And I love it too because it's resilient to heat and humidity, and it's a native plant here in North America. Now, before I talk about rose rhinestones, I just want to share a little bit about penstemons in general. Penstemons are a diverse group of flowering perennials, and many are native to North America. They're also known as beard tongue. Now, some varieties are quite tall and wide, almost shrub size, and others are a smaller size, just perfect for gardens where there's not as much space available. Penstemon are happiest in full sun. They're drought tolerant once established in your garden, and they're rarely bothered by insects or diseases. Now, you may have heard of Midnight Masquerade with its lavender purple flowers and dark burgundy foliage, or maybe you're familiar with other varieties such as onyx and pearls. Well, today I'm sharing a new introduction that's quickly becoming one of my favorites, Penstemon Rose Rhinestones. Now, Walter's Gardens sent me one last year so I could trial it in my garden, and it's quickly become this year one of the featured perennials. I'm looking over there because that's where I'm going to take you in a minute to my drought tolerant bed, because that's where it's featured, and it's absolutely beautiful right now. But first, here's what it looked like newly planted last summer. Basically a blue-green foliage plant. It had one stem that didn't do too much. And that was okay because I knew it was settling into the garden, and it was settling in quite nicely. It looked great the rest of the season. And today, 1 year later, it has a much fuller habit and many more flower stems, as you can see here. Now, this is worth remembering because even if you buy a perennial at your local garden nursery that's already in bloom, or you're ordering a perennial online and it says it'll bloom in its first season, the bloom is not nearly going to be that great as it will be in its second year and beyond as it develops and matures. Now, a lot of times you get instant satisfaction with annuals, the bright pops of color, very quickly blooming and blooming nonstop all summer. But with perennials, you have to have patience. And again, as gardeners, I say this a lot, we don't really have patience. We're not good with patience. We want to see results, and we want to see them now. But this is worth the wait because, as you can see from last year to this year, what a change and what a gorgeous plant. Now let's talk specifics. Penstemon Rose Rhinestones is hardy in zones 4 to 8. It handles heat and humidity like they don't exist, unlike how I handle heat and humidity. It's also very cold hardy. As I mentioned, it's hardy down to zone 4. It's native to North America, and it begins blooming in late spring, early summer. And as you can see, here we are in the middle of May, and it is in gorgeous full bloom. It has lance-shaped dark blue-green foliage. It's very cooling and soothing as a color that's mixed in with more traditional green foliage plants. I just find it really cools a garden down, especially a full sun garden. The flowers are deep rose in color, like a deep rose pink. They're tubular bell-shaped flowers, the kind of shape and color that hummingbirds absolutely adore. Now, the mature size is 14 inches to 16 inches tall by 20 inches to 24 inches wide. So I think it's a much nicer, smaller size for gardens compared to taller penstemons like the popular Midnight Masquerade. This loves to be in full sun, so its water needs are low to average. What I suggest is you water this penstemon when you first get it planted, even if you're planting it in a drought-tolerant garden. I made a new drought-tolerant bed last year, and what I did was I still made sure to give all the plants enough water. Since they're all new plants, they were just getting their roots established. Now, the second year, they're not going to need much water at all, except supplemental when we go literally in a drought. The soil can be average or fertile, but penstemon really doesn't even need any fertilizer. Too much fertilizer could lead to lanky growth and many more leaves than flowers. So again, keep in mind, you plant it, you don't have to worry about fertilizer. It's super easy care and low maintenance. Now, penstemon is great for pollinators, especially bees and hummingbirds. Now I've had those little green hummingbirds zipping around this plant daily, which is such a joy to watch them taking in the nectar. And remember, this is just one plant. So can you imagine several of these Penstemon Rose Rhinestones together in your garden? Oh, what a feast it would be for those little hummers. And now I'm giving myself ideas. Now, as to whether this is deer or rabbit resistant, Walter's Gardens doesn't say this plant is deer and or rabbit resistant at all. However, other Penstemons are, so I would say just be cautious and protect these plants if you deal with deer or rabbits. Now, in keeping with exactly how easy care and low maintenance this is, at the end of the season in the fall, what do? Nothing. Leave the stems standing, leave the leaves as they are, and let the whole plant stand over the winter season. All you need to do, if you want to do anything, if you don't already have mulch down in your garden bed, put a light layer of mulch around the plant. Don't put it all the way up to the plant, to the stem, but put it around the plant just to give it some extra protection during the winter months. And then in the spring is when you can cut back any remaining flower stems, cut back the leaves for some fresh new growth. Sometimes the leaves will fall off on their own if you're in a colder climate. But that's all you have to do. No fertilizer, no major pruning, no major babying of the plant. It's truly easy care. Now this is a new perennial for this year, 2025, so you should be able to find it in better garden nurseries. However, if you're having trouble finding it and you really want this plant, you can order it in one or two places. Well, actually, you could probably order it in a lot of places online, but two of my favorites that I've always consistently gotten great plants from are Bluestone Perennials and also greatgardenplants.com. And I will link in the description area below to both of those so that you can see, maybe read a little bit more about them, learn about them, and maybe get one or several for yourself. So there you have it, a stunning and easy to care perennial, Penstemon Rose Rhinestones. With its tubular flowers hummingbirds adore, with its heat and humidity resistance, which I love, and its native charm. This plant's going to have you ditching the ordinary plants and adding something truly unique and captivating to your garden. So I hope you're interested in this plant. Let me know in the comments if you already grow any Penstemon. And until next time, happy gardening.